Hey everybody, today Rahdo runs through Ghost Stories, which is a high-octane, super challenging cooperative game where players are Taoist monks who are charged with defending this little village from literally the forces of hell, or more specifically the forces of Wu-Feng, who is the Lord of the Nine Hells, who is about to, revisit the earth and wipe out everything, and we are the thin blue and green, in this game, line, trying to save humanity. And it all goes down at this little 3x3 village, where we will save the world or die trying. Okay, so now, I'll be doing a two-player run-through today, which has a couple of special setup scenarios. First of all, this game is always, no matter what, always set up as a four-player game, no matter how many players are playing. In a game, you can play it solo all the way up to 4 players. And in this game, I'll be doing a two-player game, so I'll be the green monk, and Jen will be the blue monk. And so in this game, the red and the yellow, the red and the yellow monks are still in the game, but they are not in the action. They are not on the board. They are not fighting back, but they are available to lend support. So I put them off to the side. At the beginning of the game, all 4 monks have 3 hit points, although you can get more. And let's see, what else? Oh, these 9 villagers are laid out completely randomly, and the locations they're in could radically change how the game plays, because each one of them gives you a unique special benefit if you go visit them. Let's see, anything else? Oh, in a two-player game, a bunch of cards get removed, so there's fewer bad guys we have to fight, because what's going on is we're just trying to survive, just trying to stay alive long enough as, wave after wave of ghosts and zombies and ghouls and all kinds of nasty, terrible things keep coming from this deck. But when we get to the 11th final card, we get almost to the bottom, Wu-Feng himself will appear. And if we can beat him, we win. So it's all just it's just a game of just trying to claw on and just barely hold on for dear life down this roller coaster ride and survive until the very end. So let's go. Now the game itself plays really, really simple. We first, every turn, on a player's turn, there's the yin phase and then the yang phase. Now in the yin phase, that's when the bad guys go. It's 3 steps, and there's actually a neat little flow chart to make it all clear if you need to. Although it's so simple, this isn't even necessary, but it's nice to have. So first of all, the ghosts, if there are any, perform actions if they can. Then we check to see if the board is overrun, and if so, it's my turn, I'll lose a hit point, and I could die. And then finally, if the board was not overrun, instead of me losing a hit point, if it was overrun, a ghost will come out and they'll try to overrun the board. So let's get going on that. So I'm the green player, it's my turn, so we check. Are there any ghosts on the green board who could do something? Answer, no, there are not. Okay, next thing we check. Is my board completely overrun? Are all 3 spaces full? If so, I'd lose a hit point. But no, there's not, so that means last step, a ghost comes out, and we are going to have to deal with this, whatever it is. So let's see what we get. We get a hopping vampire. I have no idea why he's hopping. He doesn't seem particularly happy, but I guess he's, hopping for joy. Alrighty, anyway, so this is a relatively tough guy. He's got 3 yellow hit points, and because he is a yellow monster, we have to put him on the yellow board. He has to go into one of these 3 spaces. And, let's see. It's our choice. You can go into any of them. I think I'll put him over here, which means he is going to be coming for the tea house. He wants to destroy the tea house. Now, there's strong reasons to put him in any of the spots. I basically put him over here because I think I'm going to go ahead and try and fight him. And having a monster appear, if I move over here to fight this yellow, if there were another monster in this space, I could fight 2 monsters at once. So having monsters in the corners is kind of nice that way. So he's come out. That was it. I wasn't overrun. They didn't do anything. A monster came out, and there he was. And now I should say, whenever a ghost comes out, there's potentially 3 icons at the bottom. If there's one on the left, that means they do something immediately when they first come out. That didn't happen here. If there's one in the middle, that means this is what they'll do every turn in the future as long as they live. And this guy means he will move forward and advance on the village. That's what this symbol means. And then sometimes there's an icon on the right, which means if you beat them, something happens as they die. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a reward. Sometimes it's more badness. But anyway, this guy doesn't do anything when he immediately comes out, the hopping vampire, but he will start hopping next turn if we don't take him out. All right, so that was my yin phase. Now we move on to my yang phase, where first of all, I can move. I don't have to, I could stand still, but I can move if I want. Then I have a choice. I can either get the help of the villager where I'm standing, or I can attempt an exorcism, which means I can fight the ghost. And then finally, if I have a Buddha, I can place it. Although you have to go pick up the Buddhas first, and then at the end of a subsequent turn, you can place them. They're kind of like landmines. If you put them down in a spot, if a ghost tries to spawn there, they will basically blow up. The Buddha statue will defeat them, they'll go away, and then the statue has to be redeployed. Anyway, so it's my turn. I'm the green player. First I can move. I can move diagonally or orthogonally. I can go to any of these spaces. And of course, I'm going to come down here to deal with this hopping vampire. And now I've got a choice. I can either exorcise the demon, or I can have a nice, lovely afternoon at the tea house. And it's one or the other. I don't get to choose both. Now, fighting this vampire is actually going to be tough. Like I said, it needs 3 yellow. I need to hit it with 3 yellows in 1 hit to beat it. And now the way you fight is you take and you roll 3 dice. Every time you fight or exercise, you roll 3 dice. And these dice have a side that's a color for each of the 5 colors, red, green, blue, yellow, and black. Those are the 5 colors of ghosts. And then there's also a white side, which basically is a wild card. So if you can, you always want to roll whites. And so to beat this guy, rolling my dice, I would have to get either 3 yellows, 3 whites, or some combination thereof. Now I've got an ace up my sleeve. I am the green monk. Every one of the monks has their own unique special power. And my special power is I get a 4th die. So when I attack, I get to roll 4 instead of 3. I am literally the strongest monk in the game. Also, I have 2 bonuses. I get to roll 4th die, and I can never be cursed. A lot of these ghosts will do curses at various times, but I never have to roll the curse die. So that's actually pretty cool. And I should say, there's actually 2 different green powers. This is how the board randomly set up. It came up with this version of the green guy, but it could have been this one, whose special power is he only rolls 3 like everybody else, but if he wants, he can re-roll any number of dice. So if I get 2 that I like, I can roll the 3rd one a second time and try to go again. Also, whenever I do have to roll the curse die, if I don't like what I get, I can roll again. But I didn't get that side. I got the super badass tough guy who gets to roll 4 dice and can never be cursed. So now that means if I want to fight this guy, I could roll 4 dice. And what I need to do is 3 of these have to be whites or yellows. Now I've got a decent chance of that, but I think I want to up my chances. And this guy, it's going to take him a little while before he gets over to the tea house and tries to haunt it and destroy it. So I'm gonna take a chance. Instead of fighting, I'm going to go to the tea house and I'm going to use this special ability. Now, like I said, every single one of these zones has a special ability, and you have to choose one or the other. I'm choosing this. Special ability is I get to take a nice breather. I get to have a nice relaxing afternoon, and I get to get 1 chi token. So I've gone from 3 hit points to 4 hit points, which is good. Because, eventually I'm going to start taking some damage. Also, I get to get 1 token of my choice of any of the 5 colors. And these are kind of like artifacts that can help us fight. At the beginning of the game, I actually start with a green one. Because I am the green warrior. This green bell means I am implicitly better at fighting green ghosts. But since I'm going to be fighting a yellow ghost, I'm going to take a yellow one. All right, so now in the future, I'll have an easier time fighting yellow ghosts. And then finally, now you can't get something for nothing. I got healed, I got a green token or a yellow token, but now got to pay the piper. Since I didn't really do anything, I didn't fight this turn, I didn't stop the forces of hell, a ghost will now be respawned. So a second ghost is going to come out on my turn. And so we draw, we see what we get, and we get a creeping one. Now this is actually not that big a deal. Actually, look, he's really easy to beat. He only requires 1 green. So now he's a green. He's got to go somewhere in my green spaces, and I believe I will put him here. And this quite nicely demonstrates why it's good to fight on the corners, because that means on a future turn when I roll, I could attack both these guys at once. And let's see, and so he doesn't do anything when he first comes out, but he's another haunter, so he gets this little marker, which means both of these 2 are coming to destroy our tea house. And I say, none shall pass. But that'll be in the future turn. So anyway, that was it. That was my whole turn. We did the yin, a thing came out, then we did the yang, I did my stuff, which caused another ghost to come out. Now, it's not Jen's turn, it is the yellow player's turn. We always go in clockwise order. So it's the yellow player's turn. And but the yellow player, remember, is not actually in the game. So the yellow player doesn't do all these steps. The yellow player will only do in the in phase steps 1 and 2. Step 3, arrival of a ghost, and all of the yang don't happen when you have a dummy player. So, first of all, the ghost action happens, and then we check for the board overrun. This ghost has an icon. They can do something. So they will actually do something now, which is they will advance towards the tea house. Alrighty, and so we've checked to see if any ghosts could do stuff. They could, and then we see if it's overrun. If all 3 of these spaces were overrun, the yellow monk would take a hit. But fortunately, no problem. The yellow monk did not take a hit. Alrighty, and that's it. We, the yellow monk doesn't get to do anything because we're only playing a 2-player game. But the yellow monk is available to help us. Jen and I, at the beginning of the game, each got one of these special power tokens. We can use this whenever we want to call upon the help of the yellow or the red and get to use their special ability. So that's why they're kind of in the game, but not really, because we can just call them out of retirement. I guess you can, yeah, they're retired. They're too old for this stuff. And so you can call them out of retirement, get a little bit of help from them, but then they just go back to relaxing in their old monk's home. Anyway, so that was it for the yellow. Now it is Jen's turn. First of all, we check to see if there's any ghosts who can do anything. Nope, there's not. She's not overrun, and so that means a ghost is going to come out. Let's see what it is. It is a black ghost. Now you notice there, green ghosts go on the green, red ghosts go on the red. Black ghosts always go on the board of whichever player drew them. So since Jen drew this black ghost, this shapeless one, the shapeless evil has to go on Jen's board, and this is a tough guy. This is a problem. 4 black hit points we got to do to beat this guy. And when he first comes out, he basically makes a bum rush. Oh, wow. Oh, that's even worse. He just immediately ruins a region. Wow. So as soon as this guy comes out, he has to go into one of these 3 spaces. He is going to immediately haunt. This guy will haunt the tea house if he gets to move 1 more space forward. So, we have time with these 2. We can prepare. We can fight them off. This guy, he just goes straight to the haunting. So, we will either now lose the temple, I forget what her name is, the fast movie lady, or the evil, what are they all called? I should probably look them up. This is the Pavilion of the Heavenly Winds, and this is the Sorcerer's Hut. So, we have to lose one of our 3 right off the bat, one of our 3 helpers. Now, the temple, what they're good at, if you go over there and you give up one of your special artifacts and put in this spot, that means every monster in the game who you would automatically becomes weaker. So if Jen were to come over here and put the blue down, all blue monsters are 1 hit point weaker in the future. So that's a really great place. Don't want to lose that. The Pavilion of Heavenly Winds is a very cool place because if you use their ability, you can move any ghost from any space to any other space. So you can manipulate them, move them around, try to, control them. And you could also move yourself anywhere. So you can move halfway across the world. That's a very powerful thing. And then the sorcerer is an interesting one. He's an evil jerk. Using his ability means we have to take 1 point of damage, but that means we can instantly destroy any ghost on the board just instantly. And, as much as it sucks to take a point of damage, it's good to have him around because rolling 4 black dice, that's going to be really tough. So I think this guy will come here, and his action when he first comes out is he immediately haunts the Pavilion of the Heavenly whatever. And now he's not going to do anything else. He's just going to sit here forever, just looking evil and menacing. Just look at that guy. He's a big shapeless evil. He's just going to, just bum us out. When we defeat him, though, whoever defeats him will either get a hit point back, or will get their yin-yang symbol back if they've lost it. I haven't talked about yin-yang symbols yet, but we'll worry about that in a second. Okay, so that was Jen's yin thing. A bad guy came out. Now we can still move over here. We just can't get help of the Heavenly Winds anymore. And now that he's attacked, he's not a particularly present threat. The only thing that's a problem with him is, remember, if Jen has all 3 of her spaces filled up, she takes a point of damage. So we could leave this guy for a while as long as we keep the area under control. So anyway, though, now it is Jen's turn, and what is she going to do? Now, she could move over here, and she could try to fight these 2 guys. But, I think we're just going to wait for me on my turn to fight them, because I'm a tougher fighter, because I have to roll 4 dice instead of Jen. who only gets to roll 3. So she should probably go do something else. Now she could come up here and try to fight this guy, but it is literally impossible to beat him because he has 4 hit points and Jen only gets to roll 3 dice. And, you know, if she had, you know, the black artifact, that would help her, but she doesn't have one. I think what Jen is going to do is Jen is going to come over here and visit the Buddha's, what is this one called? The Buddhist temple. Oh yeah, this isn't a temple. This is the herbalist shop? Not that it really matters. I don't know why I'm worrying about it. Oh yeah, no, this is the circle of prayer where we can basically weaken all monsters of a certain color. This is the Buddhist temple. Jen's going to come over here, and instead of fighting, because there is nobody to fight, Jen is going to interact with them. Oh, but that's the thing. I forgot. Ah, shoot. Jen's special power. Remember, my special power is I get to roll an extra die. Jen's special power is she is super fast. What she gets to do is, remember how most players, they either interact with the villager or they fight? Jen can do both. So that is very, very cool for her. So really what she wants to do is she wants to move someplace where she could use the ability and fight. And that's unfortunate because really she can come over here, but she's not going to be, well, she can't use the ability here. She can come over here and get a Buddhist temple, which she'd like to do, but then there'd be nothing for her to fight. She should really go someplace and fight. So, even if it's a bit wasteful, because I've got this covered, Jen's going to come down here anyway so that she can use her special ability, which means she gets to heal 1. She gets another point, a hit point. She gets to take a token. And I think she'll take a black one because there's this evil, there's shapeless black evil up there. She's going to get this, so it'll help her fight the blackness. And now that means she has to bring another monster out. So we'll bring another monster out. This is getting kind of dangerous. This is a bit scary, but let's see what happens. Ooh, Restless Dead. It's a much easier yellow guy to beat. Let's put this guy over here so he's fairly close so that after this guy gets beaten, we can move over and get this guy. If we put him over here, it's another corner space, but then it would take 2 turns to get to it. So we'll put this guy here. He doesn't do anything when he comes out, but he's another haunter. So over time, he will start approaching. Okay. So now that was Jen moved and she did chose her action. Remember, she gets to do both. So now that she's done the action, she gets to fight. Now unlike me, she only gets to roll 3 dice. Let's see what she rolls. Alrighty. Ooh. Wow! Okay, that's pretty darn impressive. Jen rolled a yellow and 2 whites. Remember, whites are wild cards. So Jen's got a choice. She could basically treat this as 3 yellows and take out this guy and he's just done. Or she could treat one of these as a green, and then she could take out this guy who only has 1 hit point. You know, I think we got to take advantage of the fact that Jen was able to work this guy so well. And so she will treat it as all yellow, and this guy is toast, defeated. Now, there's no icon here, so he doesn't do anything on the way out. He just gets discarded. But this haunter goes away, and the tea house is safe. And that was Jen's turn. So we were all done. Well done, honey pie. Okay, so Jen's over, and now we go on to the red player. And remember, the dummy players, they only do a couple of steps. They check, are there any ghosts who could do something? Nope. Are they overrun? Nope. All right, red is done because ghosts never come out on the dummy player's turns. Now it's my turn again. First of all, I got to see, are there any ghosts who can do anything? Yes, there's this guy. This creeping one will start to creep. So he is almost, if he could move 1 more space, he would take out our tea house, but he hasn't. All right, I'm not overrun, and so now it is my turn. And obviously, I'm going to fight. Oh, it's interesting, I don't have to fight. What I could do is leave. I can come over here and fight this guy, because then on Jen's turn, she could stay here and fight this guy. Because remember, Jen has the added benefit of she could stay here, heal up even more, get another helper, and then beat this guy. But that means Jen would make another ghost come out. So actually, Jen is in a better position to fight here. Because if Jen moves up here to fight this guy, her special ability means she would get to do 2 things. She would get to, the town guard pushes somebody back. And the thing is, Jen would have nobody to push back. Or at least, well, I mean, because what's going to happen is after my turn is over, this guy is going to move up. Then it's going to be Jen's turn. If she moved over here, she could push him back, but then fight him and kill him. So really, I think I'm going to move over here. I'm not going to stay. I'm going to move over here and try and fight this yellow guy. Because remember, I'm better than normal at fighting yellow guys because I've got this sticky rice, the yellow rice. So I'm going to move. Right, because this guy moved. I didn't go overrun, so now it's my turn. I'm moving, and then I'm going to fight. And remember, I get to roll 4 dice. And I got to get 2 yellows. Let's see. No, it shouldn't be a problem. But it is. Oh my God. I've got my 4 dice, and yet I can't roll as well as Jen. I got 1 wild card, so that's 1 of the 2 yellows I need. But then I got blacks and greens, which are useless to me. Fortunately, remember, I picked up this yellow earlier. So I will trade it in, and that counts as a yellow, and this wild card is a yellow. So I have done 2 yellow damage, and I have taken out this restless dead. All right, and nothing happens on his way out, so that's it. All done. That was my whole turn. Now it's now it's not Jen's turn. It's yellow's turn. Now if that yellow were still around, he would advance, but there's nothing here, so we just skip yellow. We're all done. And now it's Jen's turn again. First of all, are there any ghosts who can do anything? There's this ghost, but he doesn't do anything because he has no middle spot, so he just stands there. Jen is not overrun because there's still 2 empty spaces, and now it is Jen's turn. And we only have 2 ghosts out. And we know this guy's a really big, bad mamma jamma, 4 black. So I think Jen is going to rest again, which means she'll heal up 1 more time. She's got 5 hit points. She is super tough. And she will get another token. She'll take another black token. Now, she's got 2 black tokens to fight this guy. So I think she's feeling pretty good about beating him. But for hanging out in the tea house again, once more, Jen has to draw another ghost. But we're really ahead of we're doing pretty well. So I'm not too worried about 1 ghost. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? What is it? If you like focus, a Skinner. A very nasty looking fellow who would like to skin us alive. All right, it's a red ghost. Not a particularly tough guy. Only 1 hit point, and he's a haunter, so he's going to start moving forward. So he's got to go in one of the 3 red spaces. Jen wants to get over here and get a Buddha, so let's go on ahead and put him there so that Jen could eventually move over here and get the Buddha and take that guy out. And so he's a haunter, so that's that. So now remember, we're on Jen's turn. She didn't move. She could have, but she opted to stand still. And instead, she activated the special ability, which made another monster come out. And her special power is she can do 2 things. She can use the special ability and fight. So now she's going to fight this level 1 green creepy guy, and I'm sure beat him with 1 die tied behind her back. No, she is not. Oh my gosh, no whites and no greens. That is terrible. That is very bad news. Now we are in trouble. Because that means this guy is going to get to move forward. When it comes around to my turn, I'm going to activate him. He's going to move forward, and he is going to haunt the tea house. Because Jen could not be bothered. I mean, gosh, what are the chances? There was a success. There was a success. There was a double success. There was a success. It was almost impossible for her to fail, but she failed. Wow, that's really bad. And now, unfortunately, Jen, I have a green bell. If I would have failed, I could have traded my green bell and still could have beat him. But Jen could not. Now, she does have this thing that lets her call in the help of one of her teammates, but she has to use this at the beginning of her turn before she commits to anything. So, because she could have used this to call in the help of the yellow guy. The yellow guy's ability is anytime he wants, he can get one of the artifacts, any choice. So Jen could have done it, but it's too late for her to do that. Wow. All right, well, that's just a bad bit of luck. Crazy bad luck. But you know what? Sometimes the dice don't go your way. All right, so anyway, that was Jen's turn. All right, moving on. Blue is done. Now we're moving over to red. Red, there is a ghost who can do something. He will approach, and now our Buddha temple is in trouble. And that's it. There's no overrun here. No points are done. And now it's back to my turn. Here we go, folks. Are there any ghosts who can do something? Yes, this creeping one, who was supposed to be a cakewalk, we weren't supposed to be worried about him. He will creep on up, and you can see he hit this spot, which means our tea house is haunted, and we have lost that wonderful special ability. And the creeping one is not done. This creeping guy, okay, he's finished. He is now haunting this place. But you know what this card does? It immediately spawns another one. So until we can defeat this card, they will keep generating. And now if this guy is able to move all the way up, he'll take out the next space. And then the next space. And now here's the thing I haven't mentioned. I talked about how we win. We basically just have to survive until we get to Wu-Feng, and then we have to beat him. There are several ways we can lose. If we all lose our hit points, it's over. If all of the ghosts, if the entire deck gets out, it's over. And if we ever lose 3 of these tiles, and we've lost 2 of them now, if we lose 3 tiles, it's over. So we are now in what I would like to call a bit of trouble. One more tile gets haunted, and this tile, when on red's next turn, it's going to be haunted. We're going to lose. So that's not good. So anyway, it is my turn. This guy moved forward. He haunted the tile and then reset himself. I'm not overrun, so I don't lose any hit points. And now it is my turn. And we have to turn this frown upside down. We're in a bit of a we're in a bad way. I mean, I probably need to come back down here and defeat this creeping one so he won't do any more. But still, somebody's got to get over here and stop this red one before that hits. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? I think we're going to leave it right there as a cliffhanger. And if you'd like to know how we all solved the day, because by the way, I haven't shown a lot of stuff. I haven't talked about yin-yang symbols yet. I haven't actually used any of the special abilities of the other characters. There's so many interesting ghost effects you have yet to see. And I've still got a few tricks up my sleeve. And if you'd like, you can hit the button that's on screen right now to watch Extended and see if we survive, or you can hit the other button and go straight to Final Thoughts. Your choice. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.